Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what we're about to discuss could be one of the most seismic shifts in the AFC North this season. Rumors are swirling around the NFL, and they point to a blockbuster trade that might reshape the division's landscape. According to reports from Diana Rossini, one of the most trusted insiders in NFL circles, there's a strong possibility that the Miami Dolphins are exploring a trade involving their star wide receiver, Jalen Waddle, to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, you heard that right. The Dolphins, currently sitting at 1-3 and facing a rough patch with their offense, are apparently looking to shake things up, and Waddle could be the centerpiece of that overhaul. Now, before we dive into all the details, let's set the stage for why this potential move is so significant, especially for the Steelers. The Miami Dolphins, as most of you know, started the season with high expectations. Coming off a playoff appearance last year, and with Tua Tagovailoa healthy for most of the offseason, the team looked poised to make a serious run. But things haven't gone according to plan. Tua's concussion issues have become a major concern, and now, with him out indefinitely, the Dolphins are in a tough spot. Their offense, which was supposed to be one of the most explosive in the league, has been struggling mightily. They're averaging just 18 points per game, which is pretty shocking considering the talent on that roster. They're also looking to free up cap space, about $20 million, so they can make some moves to shore up their roster, especially their defense, which has been allowing a staggering 28 points per game. The idea is that trading Waddle could bring in some much-needed assets, including a first-round pick in the 2026 draft and a player like Pittsburgh's own Jalen Warren, who's been through his own ups and downs this season. Now, let's talk about Waddle's profile, because this is crucial to understanding why he could be such a game-changer for the Steelers. Jalen Waddle, for those of you who follow closely, was a Pro Bowl selection in 2022-23 and has established himself as one of the most dynamic receivers in the league when healthy. His career PFF grade hovers around an impressive 89.4, which is elite. Over his career, he's accumulated over 200 receiving yards and 22 touchdowns, with nearly 300 receptions. This season, Waddle has already surpassed 0 yards with 4 touchdowns and maintains a yards after catch average of 6.2 yards, which puts him in the top 10 in the league. His EPA per target stands at plus 0.45, demonstrating how efficient he has been in creating plays. His stats show that he's not just a deep threat, but also a reliable chain mover. What makes Waddle so dangerous is his versatility and explosiveness. He's a master of YAC, yard after catch, averaging 5.8 yards per reception for his career. Even with injuries, like the ankle issue that caused him to miss 2 games in 2024, Waddle has been remarkably durable, playing in about 85% of the Dolphins' snaps when healthy. His slot efficiency is off the charts at 92.1, making him a nightmare matchup for defenses. For a team like the Steelers, adding a receiver of Waddle's caliber would be a massive upgrade to their passing game, especially considering the current state of their offense and the need for a reliable, explosive playmaker. Now, some skeptics might argue, why would Miami trade Waddle, especially with Tua out and their cap hit being around $5 million? Well, that's the paradox. The Dolphins are in a rebuild mode, and with their defense allowing 28 points per game, there's a strategic focus on bolstering that side of the ball. They're also looking to rebuild their offensive line and add draft capital. Trading Waddle for a first-round pick and Jalen Warren, a versatile running back who's shown flashes of brilliance but also moments of inconsistency, could give Miami more flexibility in their roster overhaul. Plus, the Dolphins are reportedly looking to make a statement with this move, aiming to acquire assets that could help them in future seasons, especially with the uncertainty around Tua's health. For the Steelers, this trade could be a massive boon. Imagine Waddle lining up alongside George Pickens, creating a two-headed monster on the outside that defenses would have a hard time matching up against. Waddle's ability to stretch the field and make plays in space would open up so many options for quarterback Kenny Pickett. Not to mention, it would allow the Steelers to diversify their offensive attack, making them less predictable and more explosive. The fit is almost perfect, especially given the Steelers' recent focus on offense improvements and Waddle's proven production in a high-powered offense like Miami's. His addition could elevate Pittsburgh's offensive efficiency by over 20%, especially in EPA per play, and could significantly reduce turnovers by providing a more reliable target in critical situations. Looking ahead, the potential impact on the Steelers' season could be profound. With Waddle on the roster, the team's chances of reaching the playoffs increase, especially considering their current standing and the need to keep pace in the AFC North. The division is fiercely competitive, with teams like Cincinnati, Baltimore, and even Cleveland fighting hard for playoff spots. Adding a player like Waddle could be the difference-maker in tight games, especially late in the season when every yard and every point counts. The Steelers are known for their strong defense and resilient culture, but having a dynamic receiver like Waddle would take their offense to another level. It could be the missing piece. They need to push further into the postseason and perhaps make a deep playoff run. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The AFC North is a division that's always been characterized by tough physical football, but lately, it's also become a showcase for explosive offenses. The Bengals are led by Joe Burrow, the Ravens have Lamar Jackson, and the Browns are always a threat with their running game and stout defense. For the Steelers, staying competitive means keeping pace and upgrading where they can. Acquiring Waddle would be a statement move, signaling that Pittsburgh is serious about contending again and not just relying on their historic defense or a solid run game. It's about injecting new life into the offense and giving Kenny Pickett a true weapon to develop alongside George Pickens, who's already proven he can be a game changer. Furthermore, the Steelers have a rich history of making smart moves at the right time. They've always valued depth and versatility, and Waddle fits that mold perfectly. His ability to line up both inside and outside, his knack for making contested catches, and his speed would make him an immediate threat in every game. Plus, with the Steelers' offensive line showing signs of improvement and their running game doing its job, Waddle's presence in the passing game could unlock even more opportunities. It's this kind of strategic upgrade that could help Pittsburgh turn their season around, especially as they face some tough opponents coming up. Of course, all of this hinges on whether the trade actually happens. Rumors are just that, rumors. But given the current landscape of the NFL and the Dolphins' situation, it's hard to ignore the possibility that something big is brewing. The trade deadline is approaching, and teams are always looking to shake things up, especially when they're in a tight spot. For the Steelers, this could be a moment to seize an opportunity that might not come around again soon. Imagine Waddle in black and gold, running routes on Heinz Field, electrifying the crowd and giving Kenny Pickett a true go-to target. That's the kind of vision that makes Steelers fans dream big. As we look at the larger NFL picture, it's clear that this move, if it materializes, could ripple across the league. The Dolphins, trying to rebuild and retool, get a valuable draft asset and a player who can contribute immediately. The Steelers, looking to strengthen their offense and make a push for the postseason, land a game-changing receiver. And the AFC North, with its fierce competition, could see a shift that changes the playoff race entirely. That's what makes this story so fascinating. It's not just about one trade, but about how a single move could alter the entire narrative of the division and even the conference. Now, I know some of you might be wondering about the odds and projections. Right now, the Super Bowl odds for Miami are around +1,200, which has dropped from +700, reflecting some of the struggles they've faced. The Dolphins are still considered a playoff team, but they need to turn things around quickly. If they manage to make this trade and Waddle joins Pittsburgh, it could boost their chances in the playoffs, especially with the added slot success in the postseason, projected to increase by about 25%. For the Steelers, the move could push their wins projection to over 12, giving them a real shot at competing deep into January. It's all about how these pieces come together in the final stretch of the season. And let's not forget, Waddle's presence would also serve as an X factor for the Dolphins' rebuild. His ability to succeed in the slot, especially in tight playoff matchups, could be crucial. Plus, with his history of high YAC and consistent production, he's the kind of player who could be a cornerstone of Miami's offense for years to come. On the other hand, for the Steelers, acquiring Waddle wouldn't just be about adding a talented receiver, it's about sending a message. It's about saying, we're here to contend, and we're willing to make bold moves to do it. That kind of mentality has been a hallmark of Steelers teams for decades, and it's what keeps fans excited and hopeful for the future. So, as we wait for more news and official confirmation, one thing is clear. This potential trade is one of the most intriguing storylines in the NFL right now. It embodies the strategic chess match that defines the league, where every move can have ripple effects far beyond what we see on Sunday. For Steelers fans, it's about dreaming big, imagining Waddle in the black and gold, and envisioning a brighter, more explosive future. For Dolphins fans, it's about weighing the risks and rewards of rebuilding and retooling their roster in a season that's already been full of surprises. No matter which side you root for, this story is shaping up to be one of the most exciting developments of the year. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential Waddle trade? Do you think it's a move that could propel the Steelers back into serious Super Bowl contention? Or are you skeptical, worried about the cost and the fit? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. Whether it's rumors, game analysis, or player updates, I'll keep you in the loop because you're what makes this community great. Thanks for riding along with me today, and as always, keep the faith, stay passionate, and let's look forward to an exciting future for the black and gold.